Hey guys, so it is April the 21st, I want to say, and it's going to sound like a broken record here, but we're getting apparently the storm of the century again. We're getting another Colorado low, and this one is supposed to pretty much focus on right here. Most of the weather models are saying Carlisle's going to get it bad. So what happened 10 days ago, well, you can either check out my video right here, try and put it there, or I can give you a quick summary, is that they were forecasting for anywhere from 6 to 18 inches of snow and 90-kilometer-an-hour gusts, 70-kilometer per hour sustained wind, straight from the north. We got all the wind. We didn't get as much snow as they said, which was a good thing. We probably got maximum 3 inches. And it blew like big drifts. And you can see in my backyard, if you compare the two videos, we're still not fully recovered from it. Skip forward to today, another Colorado low coming in. This time Carlisle is gonna get it, is what the models are saying. 100% chance, according to weather, that's the weather network I was looking at, of, like, keep in mind we're going to get some rain too, but they're saying, 25 to 50 centimeters of snow. One model saying up to 70. But this time it's going to be warmer. It's going to be close, flirting with zero all the time, so we're going to see what happens. I'm going to post a couple of pictures right now of the what they were saying, like these models, and they're saying 99-kilometer-an-hour gusts, up to 70 centimeters of snow. And the real kicker right now is the long-term forecast doesn't look that warm, so hopefully that stuff turns around in a hurry. Like, hopefully we don't get all that they're forecasting. If it was to be the equivalent of rain, so rain, you're kind of 10 to 1, 8 to 1, so every inch of snow is probably a tenth of an inch of rain. So if we were to get a couple of inches of rain right now, it would make things sloppy, but it would melt. Well, and the other thing is we're under an overland flood warning because of this storm. So if we were to get all the rain, it would probably melt all the snow that's up in the hills, as well as what's in the trees, and there would be some flooding, and everything here goes from north to south. The hills, so we're in my backyard right now. That way's north. About 4.5 miles that way is our land that butts up against the reservation, and that's about as high as you can get around here, and everything runs south to Alameda. So if we get a lot of rain, that's definitely going to thaw things out, but it's going to cause a lot of runoff. So it's a 6 of one, half dozen of the other kind of situation. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep posting. I'll take some before pictures or videos, and during and after, and we'll see what happens. But right now, the long-term forecast doesn't look very promising to get the soil warmed up, because we need soil to be at least 4 degrees, ideally closer to 8 or 10, before we start planting or seeding. So, but the peas and the durum and the wheat is a lot bigger stuff, so it can manage the cold. It's got pretty good cold vigor. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to be a late year, because we are 10 days from the end of April, and this is going to go down as one of the worst Aprils we've ever had. For 10 days, and we're not having overnight like above zero temperatures until, well, not in the 10-day forecast, in the 2-week forecast. So hopefully that turns around. Anyhow, quick reminder to like and subscribe, and well, let's hope for the best here. Okay, storm update. It is about 8:45 in the morning, and we did not get any snow overnight. There was some rain at times, but it is extremely windy right now. Trees are bucking around pretty good. I shouldn't have said extremely, but it's definitely windy. It was windy earlier. You could hear a lot more vibration around the house and chatter. But this is what we're starting with. And I meant to yesterday and I forgot, is I was going to bring the loader over and flatten down these peaks, because with the north wind, we're going to get some nice drifts right across my yard. So I'm just going to make a big pot of chili and chill out around the house and just see what happens. All right, it's 2:00. It has been very wet, windy, slushy snow coming down. Not going to speculate on what accumulation is, but so far it's probably been less than what they've called for. And for some reason, probably because there's no snow over there, the robins are having a tribunal across the street. They're probably trying to figure out when's a good time to go to my neighbor's crabapple tree to go pick off the remaining ones. So there's about 15 to 20 of them over there, and a couple flying around too. All right, so she's swirling around pretty good now. It is 5:30. It's probably snowed more than it's accumulated, but a lot of it is melting because we are right at 0 degrees. It's definitely ugly out there. So the reservation does not have power, or at least at some point it didn't. And I briefly had my internet go out for maybe 20, 25 minutes, not much. That was around maybe 3:30. So it is 6:00 on Saturday, and the power went out about 5 minutes ago. At about 10 to 6, it flickered and then came back on. And then about 4 or 5 minutes later, it did the same thing. It flickered and came back on. And then about a minute later, it flickered 2 or 3 times really quickly. And nothing now. So that's the current update. Okay, it is now 7:30. The power is back on. So kudos to SAS Power and all their linemen that had probably had to go out in this nastiness to go somewhere to fix something, whether it's a tree that fell on a line or a blown up transformer or something. But an hour and a half is nothing for a power outage. So well done, everybody. And yeah, the snow is definitely starting to accumulate now. Let's take a look. I can no longer see, I might see 2 blades of grass poking through. It is really wet, sticky snow. So the snow is starting to accumulate. It is still blowing pretty close straight north to south. It's still a little bit easterly, not very much. Sorry, from the east. But it's all day, it's been either 0 or 1 degrees. So a lot of the snow is either melting or just becoming very packed. The roads are very sloppy. And that's about all I got to update. They're still forecasting up to another 15 to 20 centimeters. So that's 6 to 8 inches. Now, how much melts and how much compacts is a different story. But yeah, it is still pretty ugly out here. And, we still have at least another, I would say, 8 to 12 hours of this storm based on what their models are saying. It's about 8:45 and the power just went out again. Still storming to beat hell outside. There's some flakes for you. So we'll see how long the power's out this time. That's about all you can do. It's 9:30 now, and the wind is absolutely howling outside to the point where I can hear some of my siding chattering on the north side of the house. And there's literally nothing I can do about it right now other than hope it's still attached. So tomorrow, once this is all calmed down, we'll go take a look at what kind of carnage we got. All right, power just kicked back on. It is like 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. And the power just came back on. And it just went back out. Huh. Oh, and it's back on. So I guess the power's back. It's out again. Get the feeling there's going to be a lot of this tonight. All right, so this has turned out to be a pretty humdinger of a storm. It's Sunday morning, 7 a.m. and we haven't had power since my last update, which was, I believe it was 10 p.m. last night. And yeah, so it snowed a fair bit, or at least it collected a fair bit more overnight. That big drift that was in the last video is back, but it doesn't necessarily look like it went all the way across my driveway, which could be good. The other update is, as of about 2 minutes ago, the cell service went down. So, not sure what to think about that. And the last I looked at the forecast, the wind is supposed to stay up until late afternoon into the evening. So it's now about 10:35 a.m. and we still have no cell service and no power. We do have water, which is good. Now, I'm feeling stupid, and I'm going to venture out to the farm. It's only about 3 miles from here, and there's been a lot of traffic going by, so that's a positive. It's just that the north wind, there tends to be some big drifts across the road, so we'll see what happens. There's a wood burning fireplace at the farm, so I would guess that mom and dad have that thing going, so I'll go check in on them and probably play some cards until the power comes on. First look out the backyard. If that's any indication of what we got, that's 6 to 8 inches. But I was thinking it was the siding that was chattering yesterday, but you can look and see there was a lot of clumpy stuff that got thrown off the trees, kind of icy stuff. So I'm guessing that's the same thing on the north side of my house. Neighbors' kids were already out shoveling. They absolutely love to shovel snow, and I don't know why. I should be able to get out of that, no problem. A nice timing, the snowplow's right in front of me. But it is pretty brutal out there. I don't know for sure, but it seems like a lot of the power poles, even in town, oh, there's one power pole that's messed up big time. Most of the power poles have a lean to the south, it seems now. You can see that guy is no good. She broke. There's another set of power poles that goes east-west on Main Street, and they look like they're all leaning, and they're doing a repair to at least one line. Well, let's see what happens as we get going north here. See how far we can go. Hopefully we can get to the farm, or at least, I don't know, it'd be nice to get over to Dana's shop and get the loader out, and then we could at least help out. Might have to wait for them to do another pass of the highways to knock all that rough stuff down. There's no power in all of southeast Saskatchewan at the moment. Yeah, we're definitely not venturing through that right now. This is where we gotta go, and I'm not worried about this intersection. Looks like somebody's already tried blazing through pretty good. I got some boxes in the back. Hitting a socket just wrong and shattering. I'm more worried about there, fix that. I'm more worried about this little spot right here. A lot of times it just drops in on a north wind. Doesn't appear to be. Does not look good. That's really bad. Drifting through the yard like nobody's business. Dad's been out and about, or at least the deer have. I'm sure Dad has. We'll give you an idea of how good that drift is there. And then that one over there, that came in just, its dad said it wasn't there this morning. So it's almost 6 feet. But it is sloppy and wet and still windy. But hey, the sun's out, so, you know, small victories. So as it stands right now, the cell service came back on about 1 o'clock. It's kind of been weak, but it's there. We still have no power. We're out at Mom and Dad's at the farm, and somebody happened to steal my generator. I have a nice little 2,000 watt one, and so Mom and Dad have it going. They have a wood burning fireplace, and it's got this little fan that works really well. Just keeps the whole house going. So they've been just rotating cords around between like the fridge and the freezer and the fan. And actually we watched a little bit of baseball this afternoon just because we could. And so my house doesn't have any power at all. And we have this old generator. I shouldn't say old, like it's super old. It's just we haven't used it in ages. So I'm going to see if I can get it to fire and either take my generator home or take this one home. I just want to give the house some heat and be able to just keep everything from freezing up. Because tonight it's supposed to get minus 12. You know, not necessarily that good. Well, we got the old generator running. I'm going to take it into town, run it at my house. Sounds like there's going to be a bunch of people. Well, my mom and dad, my sister and her family, and then my great uncle are all going to stay here tonight. As long as it's not too cold, I'll stay at my place. Hopefully this generator runs. It is running. We just need, I'm pretty sure I have some gas line at my house. Need some like, I'm not even sure what size it is. Pretty small stuff, like 316 or 1/8. Anyhow, I think I have some. Okay. So it is about 9:30 on Sunday. We still have zero power, but we got the old generator running. So this is the first time it's ran since I've been home. And Dad seems to think it hadn't run for a year or two before that. So it took a little bit of loving. The floats were stuck on the carburetor, and the spark plug was a little bit loose. You know, there was a lot of gas in there. We dumped it out and put fresh stuff in, some sea foam. And once and I had to change out, the gas line was all cracked up and sucking air. But once we got that all done, she runs pretty good. It's a 5,000 watt generator. I've got two lines coming in. So this blue one is, let's start with the black one. The black one's 125 volt, 30 amp service. So I've got the fridge. There, so you can see it's working. The fridge and this milk house heater going. So between the two of those, that's probably about maybe 2,000 watts. Fridge doesn't take up a lot. And then the other line is 110 or 115 volt and 15 amp. My little PV Mark plug's not working right, but follow myself all the way to the bedroom, and I have another heater, another 1,500 watt. I used this one for many years when I was building fertilizer plants, just because we get a lot of motel rooms that were drafty. And then over there it goes to my laptop, which I've got some movies on. Power just turned back on, so you see, turn off this guy outside. The light's on. So we're going to wait for about 10 minutes, make sure everything's good. Aha! Yeah, so they're trying. That's this is fourth time that the power's flickered on. So we're close. We're close, by golly. So I'm guessing we'll have power by the time I get to sleep tonight. Hopefully.